We live. What's going on, guys? The Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast is a roundtable conversational podcast that gives a voice to the Black experience.
Millennials from New York City sharing our views on Black lifestyle, culture, relationships, religion, and current events.
Here at SR, we strive to give our listeners the real in a world of fake.
Worldly professionals with class that also know how to switch it up.
Now let's talk our wild shit.
Yeah.
Yo, peace. Welcome back.
Back again, like we never left, right?
Like we never left.
All right.
To an episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast. I'm your moderator for today. This is your boy Mash, aka the Spew Guy Drip. Please say the drip. I want to get right into it, gang. Appreciate you. I want to get right into it. We have a special guest today. All right. We're gonna introduce our guest when we get to the. We're gonna introduce our guest once I get the regular tribe through. All right. We're gonna start with my man. You know him as the Wanderer, Mr. HSD. He's one of the first to ever do it out here. Shake talk your shit, gang.
You deserve this.
Yo, what it do? Where's my chairs? Oh, okay, I'll take the booze too. You know I like all the bitches.
Say something good.
What it do? It's your boy Shake, okay? Mr. HSD, the AFF. Y'all know what time it is. Leave the last F silent, or you could call the last F face, America's favorite face. All right. All right. Let's have a good episode, y'all.
Right.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Go ahead.
We're gonna swing it on over to the Ice Queens, everybody's favorite Gemini. She's the duality giant out the streets. If you don't know, you know today. Talk your shit, queen.
What up, tribe? This is your girl TJ, and I'm the Unicorn Gemini, and I bring duality to the podcast. Hey, tribe, welcome back. Happy Wednesday.
Hey. What down, queen?
Hey.
Yeah, facts.
And of course, you know where we're going with this. It's everybody's favorite number 3. You don't ever zone her shit. If you be anywhere in New York and you walk through the BX, you're gonna throw up that sign. Talk your shit, queen. Oh no, wrong one. There we go.
Hey.
Uptown, baby. Hey.
What's up?
Hey, tribe. It's your girl Mo. You know, I hail from Co-op City, Section 5. Don't ever zone my shit. I represent everything Bronx. I'm your Bronx Pisces girl all day, every day. Hey, y'all.
Facts.
Let's get it.
All right, we got my man Flash the Philosopher. He representing the big beer gang movement.
No.
All right, if you know something, he gonna tell you the truth. That's my nigga.
You know what's why? I don't know if I could represent Big Bear because I went to the barber a couple of days ago and
I see it.
He took my joint down. I'm
medium.
I'm not even Big Bear. I'm medium bear. Like,
okay, it's the energy, big beard energy.
I know, right? Yeah, I gotta. All right, I'm back. All right. But anyway, yes, it is me. Today, I am the man who believes that money follows proficiency. Okay, it's your boy Flash the Philosopher. It is he. It is me. It is I. What up?
My nigga.
Yeah.
Welcome, gang. And finally, we got family in the fucking booth today. All right, so y'all don't know, this is my sister. All right,
talk about it
for a very, 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 very long time, and I'm so afraid of her. All right, you'll find out why I'm afraid of her. This is the homie. This is Tash. You can catch her on most. You know what? Talk your shit, queen.
Big love.
Thank you guys. First and foremost, good morning, and thank you so much for having me on your platform. I think this is so cool to see, 5 great friends doing something positive together. So thank you for having me as a guest. I'm Tash. I'm known as To Tash. I'm known as the Celebrity Intuitive Life Strategist. So, what is that? I have a God-given gift where I can literally look at you and tell you everything about your life. And that is over the phone. That is in person. You can show me a picture of someone and I can look at the picture and tell you everything about them. I don't have to meet them. I don't have to talk to them. I don't have to do any of that. I speak to about close to 100 clients per week. I work with my clients are international. I have clients in Switzerland, Norway, Dubai, Canada, Japan, Africa.
Talk your shit, queen. Talk your
It's
shit.
worldwide. And I work with a lot of celebrities in the industry. Some of my celebrities consist of Bryson Tiller, Cynthia Bailey from House of Atlanta, Jennifer Williams from Basketball Wives. I mean, you name them, I probably help them. There's a lot of clients that I'm in NDAs with, right? That I can't even say it, that I'll talk to them because it's, I'm dealing with people's lives. I can look at you and tell you everything about your life, ranging from your past, your present, as well as the possibility of your future. And lastly, I don't identify myself as a psychic or as a medium. I don't believe in that. My gift is 100% prophetic and God-given. It was a gift that I was born with. I've had my gift since I was 6 years old. My family realized since I was 6 years old that I actually had this gift. So this is a real thing. This is my life. This is not a hoax. This is not, candles and tarot cards and all that.
We're going to get into that. Yes.
So I just want to let you know this is straight real. And I'm the homegirl who just knows all your business.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You're ready.
I love it.
Welcome to the tribe.
About saying I was scared of Tash because being her family member for so long, I have never asked her to read me because I'm scared for her to tell me some truths about myself, and then I got to live with that shit. All right. So because of that, I've been terribly afraid of Tash, but Tash has harnessed her gift and she's put it out there into the world and is feeding her back. And I'm so happy for you, gang. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
All right. So this is the trial for today. We're going to get into it. But before we do that, we need to make sure that we have our bodies and our mind in proper alignment. And we have one particular person on the gang who does that for us. And that's TJ. TJ, Flash, hit my girl with her shit.
Yes, play music.
It's gonna be a great ass day. Because I said it was gonna be a great ass day. I won't accept nothing else. Nothing bad will enter my day. Say that shit like you mean it. Howl it. No bad days.
Never, ever.
No bad days.
What up, tribe? No bad days.
Never.
No day should you ever have a bad day. Not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday, not Saturday, not Sunday. No bad days because you are in control of your days and you are at choice with everything that you're thinking, doing, saying. And today I'm going to introduce a chakra to you. It is the third eye chakra, which is located right between your eyebrows. And it's represented by the color indigo. It's also known as like the night sky, if you don't know what indigo means, right? And so this chakra is responsible for your intuition.
The irony.
Yeah. I know. Guess who we have today?
Yeah.
Tash. I did this specifically because she was going to be here with us.
Full circle.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So if you are experiencing any stress or you're feeling like you don't know what's next in your path for life, that means that your third eye chakra could be blocked. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and unblock that chakra. Some affirmations that you can share with yourself or that you can say to yourself are, I trust my intuition. I trust my intuition always. I seek to understand and learn from my life experiences. I'm connected to my higher power. I'm connected to the wisdom of the universe. And every situation is an opportunity for growth. Good
Those
or
some
bad?
bomb ass affirmations you got.
Good or
Those
bad?
are really good ones.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is.
I love that.
All right, tribe. So if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But I want you to take
flying
some
a
time
plane, doing anything wild.
and you're listening to Sophisticatedly Ratchet. Thank you for listening. I want you to take some time for yourself today. If this is the only 20 seconds you take for yourself, go ahead and take that time. If you're driving or doing something, do not close your eyes. If you're not, go ahead and feel free to close your eyes and focus on whatever affirmation resonated with you just now. Okay. And I'm going to ring the singing bowl and you're just going to be thinking about that affirmation. Okay. Got that, Tash?
Got it.
All right, guys, take a nice deep breath in.
Ring me.
And we're going to hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4 and exhale. No bad days.
No bad days.
Yes.
Thank you,
That's awesome.
Fat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move it on to our second segment. Sophisticatedly Ratchet. We're gonna move it over to Shakes. Word of the week.
Word of the week.
Word of the week. Word of the week.
Word of the week. Word of the week.
Hurry up. Yo, we're not giving that much
Hey. Okay, how you guys doing today? And it's your boy Shake with today's word of the week.
Yeah.
So,
Gosh, this is why I can't stand them. Go ahead.
Whatever. So today's word of the week is inherent, okay? Meaning existing in something. Oh, I'm sorry, it's an adjective, and it means existing in something as permanent, essential, or characteristic attribute, okay? And I'm gonna use it in a sentence. So there is an inherent risk to having sex without a condom. So that's why I suggest using prophylactics.
Okay. Ding his bell.
You getting the gift for that. Great sentence, buddy.
He's a hot man. We love it, Shake.
That was very good, Shake. That was
Alright.
very good.
And the way we play the word of the week, Tosh, is anytime anyone uses the word, they get a point, and we have a tally at the end.
And there's a cool
It
down.
says who wins
There's a
using the
cool
word.
down. You can't just like go 5
Yeah,
in a
there's
row.
a cool down.
Not
All
at
right,
all.
so we're doing things a little bit different today. All right.
Okay,
We're not used to having a guest who can read our minds and tell our futures in front of us. So we want to start with asking a lot of questions. All right. This is a very, very amazing gift. And I think it's important that we flush it out and get to know Tosh a bit better. So Tosh, I want to start by asking, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Well, you did that in the intro and you even mentioned your gift as a whole, but please speak on it a little bit further.
No, I mean, I have a natural gift. You know, my gift, I have the ability to look at you and tell you things about your past, your present, as well as the possibility of your future. And I say possibility because I can tell you, you know, you're going to get this job. You know, you need to apply for this job. You're going to get this job and it's going to work for you. You can get off of the phone from your session and not apply for the job. Then that means you're not going to get the job, right? So it really is the matter of taking the intuitive guidance that I'm giving you, right? So if I'm speaking to you and I'm telling you things that happened in your past, clearly I know what I'm talking about without you having to tell me. If I'm telling you things that's going on in your life right now, clearly I know what I'm talking about. You might want to listen. And if I'm telling you the things that you need to do to ensure that your life is better, you know, the clarity, the confirmation, and direction, the guidance that people need, you might want to listen, right? So it's just, you know, people are people, and I understand that, and that's why I don't identify myself as a psychic or any of that, because I don't predict anyone's future. You predict your own future. You know, I give you the clarity, the confirmation, and the roadmap to make things good for you, based off of what I am seeing intuitively and prophetically.
Question: Do you ever get pushback from some of your clients when you tell them things that they aren't ready to receive? Do they ever push back sometimes?
But the good news to that is, you know, I'm like the homegirl, right? I'm from Jamaica, Queens, you know, so I'm very
Talk about it.
You know, I'm basically, you know what I'm saying? You know, I am homegirl, you know, so I have everyone's best interest at heart, genuinely, you know.
Understood.
So if you give me pushback, that's on you. You booked the session. I didn't book the session. You booked the session. So clearly you were looking for guidance. So if you don't want to listen, that's on you. I don't have anything to do with that.
Copy. All right. So follow-up question with that is, how often do you see clients and how do you determine the frequency?
I speak to an average of 70 to 100 clients per week. I am on a few radio platforms as a reoccurring guest. You know, I was on Instagram Live the other day with Cynthia Bailey from Housewives of Atlanta.
I saw that.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I have a lot of celebrities that show me love. You know, Remy Ma's a client. You know, Cynthia Bailey, like a few people, and they just spread the word. She's dope. She's really dope. And just, you know, it fluctuates, but I usually don't ever speak to anything less than 70 clients a week.
That's
Copy.
Cool.
And how do you manage your time with all those people?
Brandon. Brandon is my Bible.
We're going to shout out to Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon.
Please, I don't know what I would do without him. You know, my website is really solid, so I do want to shout out my website as well. It does everything for me in terms of bookings, and you book it goes to my calendar. But Brandon manages my life.
Throw the handle on that website real quick. Throw your handle on your website real quick.
Yeah, so it's talktotash.com, TOTASH.com, talktotash.com. That is my website. My celebrity clients, Brandon manages that. Interviews, Brandon manages that. Anything that needs to be managed, he does. The only thing that I do is show up for the calls. That's all I have time for. But Brandon manages everything else around me. He's been with me for 10 years.
Perfect.
Question, Tash.
Yes.
I know you were explaining you can do it over the phone, mobile, and I guess like in person or whatnot. Do you feel like anyone is better than the other as far as maybe even experience with a client? Is like the in person going to be like the best experience with Tash?
Good question.
In terms of the information, no. In terms of the vibe and energy, yeah. Because I love people. You know what I mean? So, if I'm around you, if we're at a barbecue and I'm like, girl, you dating this guy? Who's Michael? Who's Michael? You think, oh my God, I just met him last week. It's like having a conversation with the homegirl who just knows all your business. So I always think in person is better, not because of the information, because the information will still be the same. It's more so like the vibe and the sit down and the connecting, talking about what's going on. Because I'm like all in your business.
Gotcha.
I actually love what I do.
I know.
I would love it too.
Tash, do you ever feel any type of like pressure to read somebody? Like somebody's like you outside hanging and just chilling, and they're like, "Hey, can you read me real quick?" Like, do you ever feel like that? Like people come at you doing inappropriate times?
Yeah, I get that all the time because again, I'm on a radio platform in DC in the DMV area. DJ with Dominic and Diva. I've been there for 4 years. So a lot of people know me out there. Like I can't even walk the streets in DC without people being like, "That's Talk to Tash." I'm a little celebrity in the area, which is a blessing.
Nothing little about that. Nothing little about that.
God is great. And people stop me. Like people will stop me on the street. Like, "Oh my God, Talk to Tash on the radio. Can you read me?" I'm like, "I'm high and no." You can go to my website. You can go, you don't just walk up to me. One person texted me while I was having a lunch with my husband. We were having lunch. They DM me, not text me. They DM me on Instagram and was like, "Are you having lunch right now with your husband at Park and 14th?" And I was like,
"That's scary."
We don't play about we don't do all that. We watch. I was ready to turn up. I was like, "Yo, who's watching me right now?" You know what I'm saying? So, and they were like, "Oh my God, can I come to you and ask you a question?" And I'm like, "No." So I get that all the time.
That's how you got hit.
I have a question.
Wait, hold on. Because I was actually asking Mash about this yesterday, Tash, and I said to Mash, "Would you sacrifice, your peace for fame?" And I know, like being under, I guess, like the eye of a public figure. It's like, do you ever feel you're at a battle with that?
I want the fame. Let me just
facts.
I want because to me it comes with success, right? I think fame and success is attached. If you're doing a good job and you're really making an influence, then that comes with fame. So I'm cool with that. I just want people to understand boundaries. I think that people don't understand
talk about it.
If I'm having lunch with my friends, I'm cool with you coming up to me taking a picture. Like I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I'm cool with that," but don't come up to me asking me to work. This is my natural gift. This is what I do for a living. Right, I get paid for this, so you can't just come to me and ask me a random question. I think that that's disrespectful to people's business and people's brand and people's personal time. So, but I want the fame. Like, thank you for recognizing who I am. Hey, girl, hey. But and thank you for the support. Thank you for listening to the radio.
That's what that is.
For the love, and I'm thankful for all of my followers and all of the people who love me. But I also want people to understand boundaries. That's all. That's all
I respect that.
I did have one. I did have one question. I'm just wondering, like, have you ever just been out and just had a burning intuitive sense to speak to a person that was around your vicinity and like had to go up to them and say, "Hey, this is what," like, had that ever happened to you? I'm just curious to know. Wow.
And what do you do? Do you speak to them or
do you go to them or like?
I don't. Not a day goes by that I don't randomly walk up to somebody and talk.
Wow.
Your time. Yo, do you walk around like the Apple Pay though in case? Because if you hit them like with a random joint, you can't just be like, "That'll be $59.99.
No. I do, if I'm going to Starbucks, I read the Uber driver yesterday in LA. I was in the Uber driver was driving and I was in the back of the Uber. I was like, "Hey, how you doing, John?" He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, So really quick, I'm intuitive. I always got to start with that, you know, and I'm like, you know, I work in the industry and they're like, oh my God, that's really cool. I'm like, do you mind if I, you know, I got to break the ice, right? And they're
right.
But they, you know, I think a lot of people don't really know. They're like, yeah, that sounds cool. But then when I tell them like details, like, yo, your mother was in a hospital the other day and they like, what?
Right.
You know what?
Right.
I'd be like, or, you know, because I'm very specific. Like, I don't just, you know, I'm very specific. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm sorry you and your wife are separating right now, but, you know, I think that that's best. You guys haven't been speaking for about 3 years. It's been a disconnect, you know, but you guys have a daughter, I see. She's great. It's going to work out. Like, I'm very specific, right? So it's like, you know, they're like, what the heck is going on right now? So I do it first and foremost because I always feel like I have to always test my gift. Because one of my biggest fears is that one day I'm going to wake up and I have lose it, right? That's and that's the guy's sign. And she's like, one day I'll be like, do I still got it? Hey,
that's a big thing.
And I guess and I guess one of the questions that I think Shake asked, like whether seeing somebody in person or via online, so you can still have that same connection by just how we are right now. You still be able to read someone just by looking at us right now.
I read,
Yo,
you did already? You did.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't even want to hear.
My gift is on 24 hours. My gift doesn't turn.
When we get off, I want to hear what you have to say.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on, Tash.
My gift is off. The only time my gift is off is when I'm sleeping.
You know, one thing I want to ask too. I want to ask the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like, let's say, you know, you seen somebody. I ain't saying that you just didn't like nobody, but let's say you read somebody and you was like, you know what, I don't even like this heifer. Like, do you say like, no, I'm not going to tell them, or would you still look past it and give them the message maybe that they need to hear?
Oh yeah, I'm not. First and foremost, my gift is God-given, right? So this is so much bigger than me, because the message that someone can get can help their lives, change a life, save a life. You know, give them the path. You know, God is going to bless me regardless. So I separate my personal feelings from, you know, my gift. You know, because my gift has nothing to do with who I am as a person. There's plenty of people who I don't like. I'll be like, yeah, what up? Like one girl, she blocked me. It was a whole big thing. She had an issue with me, but I still called her. I was like, yo, I know you're not rocking with me right now, but this is what I'm seeing going on. So you need to be careful because you know, and they always come back like, Tosh, I'm so sorry. I want to be friends again. I'm like, yeah, no. Boundaries.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put you on because I'm a nice person and not, you know, I got to listen to the message, right? But now we can't be cool anymore. So, you know, in most cases, it's just the person's, you know, it's their loss, number one. But to answer your question, I'm going to do the right thing. Right. If I can help someone, I'm going to help. And because I'm a nice person, genuinely, and Malachi can say that, like, I love people. Right. Like, if I knew that I had a message for someone and I didn't give it to them, and then I see that it affected them negatively, I would feel horrible. Like, damn, I should have told her. Wow. Like, I should have told her, like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And that makes me feel bad. So I just tell them just to clear my own conscience.
So wait, that leads me to my next question is, can you describe a particular memorable experience where your intuition guided you to help a client in a very unique way? Like, can you tell me like one?
If you can.
If you can. I know you signed a deal.
I have so many.
I just want one. Just one.
A celebrity or regular?
Your world. Whatever you like.
We're not gonna implicate nobody.
Okay.
It doesn't go like this NDA.
Well, you know, I'll use Bryson Tiller as an example. You know, I told him that he was gonna have another baby. You know, his daughter, who's amazing, Kelly. She's beautiful. She looks just a twin. And I told him, I was like, yo, B, I see you. You know, your girl's gonna get pregnant. You know, I'm seeing that. He was like, nah, Tosh. Like, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm telling you, this is what I'm seeing. He was like, nah, I'm good. You know, and then lo and behold, you know, she ended up getting pregnant. But you know, when you're a celebrity, you know, that could change things, right? Because you're busy. Yeah. So, you know, he's great. Bryson's amazing. His girlfriend Kendra, she's amazing. They just good people. But he was not expecting to have another baby. But she's a blessing. She looks just like him. She's a blessing.
That's a great deal. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thanks. And she named names. Forget about it. Yo, so Tosh, you said you've been doing this since you were 6 years old. What is
my family realized when I was 6 years old that I haven't been doing this since 6.
No, I check, but you have though. Okay, so how long ago? What's your like first memory of like reading somebody? Like, how far back can you?
How did they know at 6? Yeah.
So I told my mom, that I was. Well, I didn't tell my mom. My mother was on the phone in the kitchen. Remember when the phone used to be hanging up on the wall back in the day? The cord. So I'm sitting down eating cereal, getting ready for school. I was about like 6, 7, and I'm like eating cereal. I was like 6, 7 years old, and I'm eating cereal. My mom was on the phone with her girlfriend. The morning gossip, the tea, right? Hey, girl, girl. She was smoking a cigarette, whatever. So I looked at my mom and I was like, oh, mommy, Miss Boone needs to go to the doctor to get her heart fixed. And she's like, what are you talking about? Stay out of grown folks' business.
It's the first thing you did. It's the first thing you did as a kid.
Right? They had to go folks' business, my business.
Exactly.
Like, you gotta get ready to go. And I'm like, I'm telling you, her heart is broken. She needs to go to the doctor, and the doctor's gonna fix her heart. And she's like, what are you talking about? So I kept saying it. My mother was getting a little frustrated because she's like, I'm in grown folks' business, right?
Yeah.
So she told Miss Boone, she goes, Tosh is sitting here talking about your heart is broken and you need to go to the doctor. I don't know what she's talking about. And then I remember my mother pausing. She was like, what? Why didn't you tell me you had to go to the doctor to have heart surgery? Right?
Yeah.
And she was like, my mom was like, well, let me call you back. So I was adopted. My brothers and I were adopted by my mother's best friend. We were young because our mother caught a stroke. So my adopted mother called my mom. My biological mother was like, Betty, what's this? What's going on? And she was like, oh, Nat's mother had a gift too. I
was there to ask that too.
And maybe Tasha has it too. I don't know, whatever. So, my mom asked me because communication was huge in our household growing up. That's why we're such great communicators in my family. Malachi, you know that, and I'm like, she says, where are you getting this from? I says, well, I know everything. She goes, what do you mean you know everything? I says, I know everything about everybody. And she says, everybody like who? I was like, my teacher, the neighbor. Like, and she's like, what? And she's like, so she thought maybe I had some trauma. So, with the adoption, with, a lot of things like going up. So she took me to a therapist. I was like, she goes, I'm going to take you to a therapist and maybe we need to talk to somebody, right? Like to make sure you're all right. And I had this thing, don't laugh, where I used to, and David can tell you this, when I used to sit in front of the TV as a kid and I would do this thing with my head like this when I was watching TV. Don't laugh, it's like retarded, right?
I'm not going to laugh. That was kind of funny.
I have never shared this on any platform I've interviewed on. I've done a lot of interviews because I'm exclusive retarded. But when I was a kid, David, you can ask David, I would sit in front of the TV and I would do this, right? I would do this. I would just
we all have some talkin,
right? But the reason why is because I can read people even on the TV, right? So even when I'm watching the television, the actors, I can read their real lives. So it was hard for me. So I would do
watch
this,
TV.
And nobody understood to watch TV. They were like, "Yo, what's wrong with Tasha? Like she retarded."
Right. Yo,
Tasha, say that. Okay.
You think that was your way of like trying to refocus, or
it was my way
of
refocusing, right? It was my way of trying to refocus. Like maybe if I fucking spin myself around, it would go away, right? Anyway, fast forward, my mom took, and that's a fun fact, Malachi. That's like family information. Like,
I love this input. I love this
David
input.
is gonna be like, "Yo, we thought she was retarded."
Never.
Never. Fact check you were young.
Anyway, fast forward. My mom took me to the therapist, and she's like, my mom's outside. I'm in the room with the therapist, and she's like, what's going on? Working. And I'm like, hi. I'm like 7 years old. She gave me some candy. I'm sitting there chilling. She was like, so your mom, my mother was not in the room because she wanted to do one-on-one. She goes, your mom told me that you have this gift. And I'm like, oh, I guess. I didn't know what she was talking about gift. Like, I don't know. I just know things about people, right? She goes, well, what do you mean? I says, I know things about people. She goes, like, about people like what? And I was like, everything. And she goes, what do you mean everything, Natasha? Like, what do you, And I'm like, my teacher, my this. She goes, okay, well, use me for an example. What are you getting with me? And I was like, she goes, what are you picking up with me? So I looked at this woman and I just literally started telling her everything about her husband, her this, her that. And she was like, and lady literally started crying, the therapist. So she picked up, and I started crying because
you made the therapist cry.
That's an achievement.
At 7, I was 7 years old. Let me
emotional.
That's real. That's real.
And, and so I got emotional. I cried because I thought I was in trouble. Like, oh, trouble. I made the therapist cry. Like, it's about to get heated up in here. My mom was about to be tight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my mom came in the room. She rang up my mom. My mom came in the room looking like She crying, I'm crying. She like, what's going on?
What's going on?
You know, what's happening? So the therapist sat her down. She was like, listen, she goes, she's very special. She was like, I can't even describe this. She goes, and you have to be very delicate with this. She goes, your daughter just literally sat here and told me everything that happened in my house yesterday.
Wow.
Like, she was like, this is unbelievable. It's like, she just was like, please take care of this. She was like, I don't even know what to say, you know? And so
is there a term for it? Because I hear you use the word intuitive, but is there like a clinical term that maybe that they could put like a diagnosis?
The real term is profit. The real term is profit. Really. My gift is God given, you know, but I don't use the word profit because I don't want people to keep me stuck in the church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I don't use the word profit. But my gift is prophetic. Yes.
You know, one thing I wanted to ask, how, like, what's the medium in which you use your gift, or what's the medium in which you gain your gift? Is it more of like a vision? Is it voice? Is it like how does it come to you? If you don't mind asking, that if it's too personal, then please don't.
No, it's fine. No, but the thing is, nothing comes to me. I just talk.
Okay. See,
I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. I just look at you and just talk. And the thing is, I usually forget. Now, I don't even remember this situation with my mom and a kid because my mom talked about it for so many years, you know, but I usually forget within 24 hours with the session. So if I tell you something today, the next time I speak to you, I'm not going to remember anything.
Right.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, you told me this. And I'll be like, oh, I did. Like, I don't, you know.
Yo, so did you have to train yourself to do that? Because in my mind, that's one thing I always worry about. Like when you have a profession where you're so either into somebody else's life or maybe taking on or hearing like either people's traumas, problems, whatever the case is, it's like, how do you get to recenter or like reset yourself? Because at some point you have to gain, you know, center yourself, you know, get back to like you and your normalcy in life. So is that hard to go from like hearing and dealing with people to saying like, okay, now this is Tash time?
So my life is not normal. And I say that with the most humble heart, you know, because my gift is never off. So I don't know what it's like to not walk in a room and not know people's business. I don't know what I mean. I say it only because I don't say anything doesn't mean I don't know.
Fair.
You know, like I know everything about everybody. You know,
she didn't want you to tell her about herself, but she ain't saying it out loud.
I'm waiting afterwards, but she already said she read it. I'm waiting afterwards. I'm a booker too. Me too.
Yeah. So I just, you know, that's me. That is me separating the gift from Tash. Me not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'll be in a room and still be homegirl and know that you got stuff, but I may not want to say anything. You know what I mean? I may just want to have a drink and smoke a joint. You know what I'm saying? And just you know, chill. But it doesn't mean that I don't know. So even
under the influence, you still have your
under the influence is lit.
So it powers up.
Word.
I believe that.
Gotta send you some mushrooms.
When I get high, I feel like I can connect with God even closer. I love praying when I'm high. I love meditating when I'm high. I just feel closer. So
it's insane. Like, I have no filter. I'll be like, you know that nigga been cheating on you for years. That nigga been cheating on you for years. Like, I'll be going in.
Like, oh my God.
She has a gift and she's been drinking. I have no filter.
Uncut.
Like,
the gift, uncut.
He ain't been shit. You knew that. Because he was cheating on you last week. What happened?
Tash, remember you on my side. If you remember, we good, okay? All right. Remember what team we on? We on the same
team. yo, no bullshit. Wait. Yo, I was dating this girl at the time, and Tash gave her a reading, and then part of me was like, oh God, I hope Tash don't blow me up. I hope Tash keep it cool.
What are you doing? You cheating?
Everything worked about that. Don't worry about that.
Everything worked out nicely.
Was it Robin?
Nah, it was Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. Oh yeah, I remember she came out the room crying.
Wow.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's deep.
She was shook. But no, I didn't blow you up, fam.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. That's what real love is. That's what real love is. So next question. Mo, you was about to ask a question? I saw. Go ahead.
No, I just kind of want to know. I'm going to ask her, has she ever saw the movie What a Woman Wants with Taraji P. Henson, when she would walk into the room and just hear all the guys' thoughts. So I want to know, is it kind of like that? Okay, that's what I'm envisioning. Yes. So I'm like, okay, wow.
So whenever I watch the movie, I'm like, Brandon,
that's you.
Me. It's like, that's you. Like, that's, you know. Yes. So I have worked in corporate America for a long time before I did this full time.
What were you doing?
I was a chief of staff. So he hired me specifically for my gift. So I would sit in the rooms, you know, doing meetings, And they would have the whole pinpoint projection or whatever, and I would say nothing. And my CEO would sit in the meetings, and they will be like, I'll be like, so John, can we talk about this merge that's happening that you didn't mention? Can we talk about and they will be like, and my CEO will be like, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You
ain't know. Right here. You ain't know. I'm like, you can go back to the drawing board on that, because Susan and you and Susan. Who's Susan? Somebody named Susan? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, the conversation that y'all had. Can we talk about that? Like, so companies would hire me to use my gift in the boardrooms.
That's crazy.
Do you ever?
Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast.
Yeah. Question, and I gotta ask this though, because when I think about corporate America, I think about money and all this other stuff. Do you feel like anybody has ever used that like for greed when it comes to your gift? Have people like misuse your gift?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not gonna name any companies in particular, but that's the reason why I hate corporate America. I hate it because of me having this ability that I have. I see a lot more than what's on the surface, and it's a mess, and it's a zoo, and they don't give a fuck about us. They really don't. So that's why I was just like, yo, like, I'm not doing this. Like, why am I sitting behind here working for someone when I could just be helping people get clarity and doing more, right? And
on your time, when you want.
Yeah, right, than what I want, right? So it's just a mess. Corporate is a mess.
Yo, you need to do like open up a segment, like bring Tash to work there. Like, let me just walk around with you at my job and be like, what's up?
Well,
who got a problem?
So here's the thing. So CEOs have hired me to do walkthroughs.
See,
so they were hiring me to do walkthroughs. They don't know, the staff doesn't know I'm there. They're like, oh, this is Natasha, I'm in a meeting, and I would just do a walkthrough. They'll be like, oh, this is John, and that's Sarah, and that's da-da-da. And I'm like reading them, and then they will bring me in a conference room, and they'll give me like okay, they're like, okay, like what's going on? I'm like, okay, so this is what's going on with Sarah. This is what's going on with this project. This is what's happening. Like a whole rundown of their staff, the company. So yeah.
That's crazy.
That's different.
Wow. You're like a hidden weapon.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they pay you for that. That's not cheap.
Exactly.
Cool. Get your coins for that. Because they got it.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
All right, so I want to stay on time. Like, we got more questions for Tasha. I want to move into.
Absolutely.
I got two more questions that I need to ask Tasha about.
Right.
2 more questions. All right.
And then we'll move into.
Where do you see yourself in the future as a intuitive life strategist? What projects are you working on? What's next for Tash?
So ideally, I would like to have ideally I would like to have a show on television.
You're gonna have a show on television. I'm reading you right now. I'm reading you right now. I got powers now.
Yes, yeah, thank you. I actually will. I'm in talks with a couple of networks now. I can't.
Okay,
there
you go.
But yes, thank you. Yeah, so
drop the bomb.
Yes, I was so amazed. I'm just sitting here like my fingers don't work.
Exactly.
I see it for her. That's why. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's exciting. So there's a few networks in the pipeline that we're talking to, and hopefully sooner than later I'll be able to announce the big news about.
I heard you got a nice pen game too.
I write. I do. How did you know that?
Tell me more.
Yeah, so I just like to write. I'm a writer. I am a co-author for a book called Still I Thrive. The title of my chapter is The Power of the Pivot, because I believe that people go through so much in life, and oftentimes we're stuck, right? Like you get stuck in your relationships, you get stuck with your love life, you get stuck with your career, you get stuck with family, friends. Like any area of your life, you can easily become stuck, right? So I do believe in the power of the pivot, because sometimes you just got to take shit for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, this relationship is trash. Get out of it. I hate this job. Find another job. I feel go to the gym. Okay. Like, it's like, what are you willing to do to get yourself out of the situation that you're in? You have to pivot, right? And it's up to you. You can sit around and play victim. You can sit around and cry, oh, it's me, oh, this job, oh, this dude, oh,
church.
Like, go to the gym. Find a way to make money.
Right.
Get out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all up to you. So that's really what the chapter is about. It's about pulling and pushing and just doing what you got to do. That's it.
So, Tash,
I need that book.
Does that book come in audio? Does it come in audio?
Is it an Audible?
I don't think. No, it's not an Audible book. You can get on Amazon. It's called Still I Thrive. You can get on Amazon. Still I Thrive.
Wait, so it's not called.
No. Buy it from my website. Get it from my website.
There we go. Plug. That's a good plug.
Get it from my website.
So wait. So it's not called The Power of the Pivot?
No, it's
Her
called
chapter.
No, her chapter is
Okay,
the power
Still
of
I
the pivot.
Thrive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still Out There is the name of the book, but my chapter is called The Power of the Pivot. And it's 24 authors. It's 24 of us. And we talk about like inspirational incidents where you can just like be your best self. So that was what I chose to write.
Okay.
Ooh,
I love that.
Tosh. I'm so happy for you.
I even
gang.
love the title chapter for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and I have to, you know,
me.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
One more question.
Don't read me. I'm scared. Don't read me.
One more question. Yo, do you feel like women are more like? Do you feel like they're more receptive to your abilities than men are? Like they want to hear about themselves more than men do, and men are usually kind of like, "Don't read me." No,
well, no,
that's
in general.
and it's true. But 90% of my clients are women.
Mm.
Like it's the women have to drag their man to have a session with me, and they usually don't want to do it, you know. And they come on a session, they be like, "Hey," because I have a FaceTime option as well, and they're like, "Hey, you know, I don't really want to have a session with you." Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
My headphones are dying. Okay.
Talk your shit.
You know, they're like, you know, they come on a FaceTime. You can tell they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey.
Because you about to ruin their life. You about to
Right.
have niggas paying alimony. That's why they don't want to talk to you.
He ain't no good, sis. He ain't no good.
And they're like, yeah, my girl told me about you. You know, I'm not really into this, but, you know, I'm here. You know, that's how they be. And I'm like, all right, cool. But every time, by the time I'm done talking to them, you would think I'm their best friend. They be like, yo, Tosh, I'm gonna call you, all right? I'm gonna book my next session.
Facts,
when you free next? Whenever, like they be like, the girlfriends be calling me like, girl, all he do is talk about you. All he do is Tosh. What Tosh said? Tosh said. It always. So when I have male clients, they become my best clients. That they don't make any decisions without me because they be like, yo, you real. You know, like you're real, right? So they have to experience.
That's what they like.
Yeah.
Your time,
I'm the homegirl.
Your time is so valuable, Tasha. I respect that. That's love.
Does it ever get a little overwhelming with some people? Like they want you to like they're like, I'm going to the supermarket. Like, should I go to the supermarket today? Like, does it get ridiculous?
As long as they're paying, I'd imagine it's not a problem.
No, it's a problem. It is a problem.
It is a problem because if you can't make that decision.
I don't do what I do for the money. Right. So let me just start off with that. Like I am, you know, God is good and I am successful, but I don't do I don't even know one year how much money I made. My accountant hit me up and was like, yeah, you doing all right. You know, when she gave me the numbers, you know, I was like, oh, I made that much money last year. She was like, yes. So I really don't do what I do for the money. I charge for my time, you know, and I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. For me, for you to ask me redundant, stupid questions about basic shit, it's like, why are you wasting your money and why are you wasting my time? Like, I don't need your money. You know, I don't want your money. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to give you guidance. I had one girl, she was on my calendar like every week. Every week she was on my calendar. And I called Brandon. I was like, yo, Brandon, why is she on here every week? Brandon was like, I don't know. I was like, yo, call her and tell her, like, no. Like, give her a refund. Like, I'm not talking to her every week. I don't need to talk to you every week. So I refund her like $600. Like, I'm like, take that. Like, I'm not, there's nothing that's going to come out of this.
Yeah, I love that because it's like I think it's so great that you can help people, but people also have to find it within themselves to say like, yo, at what point do I start doing the work? At what point do I start making the move? You know, so I love that.
And I encourage that. I tell people, like, do the work.
And that's what I respect about you the most because, like you said, you have a God-given gift. Yeah, you know, obviously you want to get compensated for your gift, but it's not just about the money. It's really about helping the individual.
It's not about the money.
The fact that, right. So the fact that she was consistently on the calendar without doing her work, right? Because you provide her information for her to do the homework to combat the information that you gave to her. And the fact that she just felt that she could just every week, I agree. Like, did you do the work first? It's different if you did the work and then something else came up. But if you didn't do your work after we spoke, that's a problem too.
I have two questions. Oh, go ahead.
I have a session on my website, right? Because I'm usually booked out like 3 to 4 months in advance is the average. If you want to speak to me the same week, that's $1,000 an hour, right? If you want to talk to me the same week, right? I had one client was like every week $1,000, and I was like, no. I said no. I was like, no.
Yes.
I was like, and do I need the money? Yeah, I gotta live, right? This is my business. It is my business. But I really don't do what I do for the money. I'm like, that's first of all, you spending too much money to get information. I'm gonna tell you the same thing that I told you last week.
Right.
You're throwing money in the trash. I'm not gonna block my blessings from thinking about money because that's not why God gave me the gift. And I'm not gonna block my own blessings by being malicious and having malicious intentions. Like,
thank you for being true.
Exactly.
That.
I know I don't have nothing to say, but I'm gonna take this $1,000 though. You know what I mean?
And Tasha's booked till June, by the way, guys, because you
on a website? You on a website?
Live and direct.
Listen, I'm gonna meet it around June, so I'm gonna make sure I put in my book.
Because I gotta book my session.
All right, tribe. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast, where we bring you the real in a world of fake. Thank you, Tosh. Talk to Tosh. TalkToTash.com. He was such a dope guest. You can find us everywhere you hear podcasts. We're everywhere you hear podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Amazon has podcasts now too. Ask Alexa to play the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast. I'm not talking right now. Anyway, and then of course she's talking right now. Follow us on all of our platforms on social media. We're on IG at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on Twitter at So Ratchet Pod. We're on YouTube where you can see our beautiful and handsome faces and you get to see Tosh.
Facts.
Okay. Alexa's
bugging out right now. We can hear her.
Absolutely.
She's unruly right now.
I triggered her.
Okay.
She wanted to spot on episode.
Anyway,
drop her info too.
Of course.
So Ratchet Space Podcast on YouTube. I'm complete.
Hey Tosh, tell the crowd where they can find you, love.
Yes, where can we find you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys. This was a joy. I had so much fun. This is such a great way for me to start off my Sunday. So thank you guys for thinking of me to have you on your awesome platform. The energy is but you guys, please follow me on Instagram. My IG is Talk To Tash 922, and that's spelled out TalkToTash 922. And my website is talktotash.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.